Welcome to the call, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good morning, America. Freedom, I've been looking for. Just one more minute, everyone. We had a little technical difficulty. Send a note. The link in the email, the link wasn't there. So just give it about 30 more seconds, maybe a minute, and we'll get started. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll get rocking and rolling. Hello, everyone. This is day 2 of our new public live stream. Where are we going? Well, we got Facebook, we got LinkedIn, we got YouTube. We got TikTok yet? Oh, Will's slacking, no TikTok. A bunch of you on the Zoom here. Appreciate everyone being here. We're going to dive into all the updates, overview of what's going on here at Inclination. Community's growing strong. Our leadership team is coming together very nicely out here in the Philippines, and we're really excited to be really a safe zone, a safe haven for a legitimate program. Right, we're the first ones to ever bring institutional systems, you know, like the real legitimate ones, to the retail market. And if you're anything like me and been around investing and trading for years, any experiences that I've had in the past were pretty disappointing as far as the claims that platforms would make, the promises that people and companies would make. And it was just full with a lot of disappointment, realizing that there wasn't really legitimate trading happening. Things would go well for a little while and then blow up in your face. And at the end of the day, it got really frustrating, right? It's like you hear about all these programs in Forex and crypto that have all this potential, and it's true, but very, very few rare individuals and institutes have legitimate systems, and even fewer have access to them in the retail market, right? So they've really monopolized the legitimate systems for high net worth accredited investors. And so if you're, you know, the average Joe with just some money that you'd rather not have in the bank making negative 1% interest a year, there's not many places that you can go, right? And really, we just want to be that zone that has gone through all the pitfalls. I mean, all of us on the team have many horror stories, and I'm sure many of you on the call have horror stories as well. And yeah, it's just it's like you could keep them in the bank and not make anything, or you can risk it in these uh, these promised platforms that end up stealing your money. There really isn't much in between right now. So we intend to be that. Really excited to introduce our whole lineup. We got Josh Willamette on the call here. He's been an absolute um, just honor to work with. It's been a privilege working with him and knowing him for the last few years. He's been in the institutional space for a while now, dealing with the high net worth and the institutes, and seeing how real systems actually exist. And so that's how this all came to be, is me calling up Josh and saying, hey man, like we got to figure out how to bring this legitimate stuff to the retail guys that really don't have access. So we have a couple of high level things. So number one is our banking system. If you've been an entrepreneur for any time, especially if you've done global business like I have, as soon as you get out of your own country, banking is just the absolute worst. So I've been on a wild journey just finding the solution for myself, and then obviously opening up to the whole community. So that's really exciting because we're about 1, maybe 2 weeks away from having our entire banking system for our community, which means you can have multiple currencies, fiat. So just like traditional bank account, you can make wires, make transfers, receive wires, all that. And then there's, thanks, Will. And then there's the crypto wallets as well. And the system allows you to, if you've never purchased crypto before, you've attempted to, you see pretty quickly how complicated it can be. With our banking solution, we have a really easy on ramp where you just use your debit card, credit card, and you can receive crypto into your account, transfer it into fiat, vice versa. So that's really exciting. We'll have our own debit cards. And really, you don't need a traditional bank if you don't want to. So that's what I'm excited about, because I'm sick of the traditional banks. Every time I go to make a large transfer, they question me. They ask about my entire history since birth, and it's just then they delay it for 3 weeks, and it's like, whose money is it? Ours or yours? So I'm excited to get away from that old dinosaur system. And then we have the Forex Fund, which is managed by Yako, who's been institutional trading for many decades. I'll let Josh introduce him and his track record. We have a performance sheet that you can get inside of our community of Yako's last 7 years, month by month, the exact performance, which again, institutional level systems. He's invested millions and millions of dollars into it. It's not just your typical AI robot that you just plug and play and hope for the best, hope that the robot doesn't blow up when the markets change. So he has a whole team behind him. That's exciting because that brings real stability. There's a monthly withdrawal, so nice cash flow for that on your money. And then there's the crypto fund, which Josh manages. He's been an absolute genius in crypto for the last many years. I've witnessed him personally doing ridiculous amounts of returns on his crypto portfolio. So both of those are ready to go. We're currently onboarding, so we'll have an onboarding call after this live stream every day. So the live stream is at 10 a.m. Eastern. The onboarding call is at noon Eastern. So two hours after we get started here, we have the onboarding, which for a lot of you, maybe you've never deposited into a Forex brokerage before, maybe you've never gotten crypto before. So in order to be a part of the Forex fund or the crypto fund, we have that onboarding call to make it really easy and walk you through the steps that you need to take to put your funds in. What else? We got I'll bring up Josh. So Josh, are you on the call, bud?
I'm here, buddy.
Awesome, man. Looking sharp as always. Appreciate you being here. So if you want to just give a high level overview of Yako and his team with the Forex fund, and then um, what you're up to with the crypto fund, that'd be awesome.
So before I dive into Yako, I'll give a bit of my background so you guys can understand how I came about to even meet Yako and why it's really such a special opportunity, specifically the trading strategy that we have access to. So myself, I've been a full-time entrepreneur now for over a decade, and I first got exposed into the financial space around 2016, 2017, which my first exposure to the financial space was the cryptocurrency market at that moment in time. And when I first got exposure to the financial industry, I knew that's where I needed to plant my flag, just simply because I seen how lucrative it actually was and how much money there was to be made in the arena. So I first started in my journey in specifically the retail trading space. And that occurred from 2016 until 2019. And the reason that I left the retail space was simply because of all the BS that I went through, and I was actually involved in with Jamie in the retail space in that time, just from bad ownership to promised great products, but they're actually just horrible trading products. So from my time in the retail space and networking, building businesses, I built an incredible network of high level institutional individuals. So 2019 is when I transitioned from the retail space to the institutional space. And that is when I first met Yako and started working with Yako. So a bit of a background on Yako and this specific trading strategy that we all are now going to have access to. So prior to us partnering with Jamie and Incomation, what we've been doing with Yako the last 3-4 years is we have been raising him capital. But the problems, again, specifically for the retail space, is the capital we have been raising Yako, the investors that get started with us, the minimum investment in ticket size that Yako would accept is $250,000. So Jamie, he called me up about 6-7 months ago and he gave me the experience that Incomation went through, and he really said we needed some legit trading strategies. And that's where obviously on my side we have a pile of different institutional trading strategies, but the main hurdle we went through to bring this to you guys in the retail market is we needed to figure out how to bridge the gap to eliminate that minimum deposit size of $250,000. So the solution of what we came up with is we have created what is called a PAM account. So in simple terms, a PAM account is a pooled amount of deposits. So let's say a certain individual deposits $500 into this account and an individual deposits $100,000. It doesn't matter on the deposit size. It's all pooled into one account. So why I bring that up is because how we have got around the hurdle of the minimum deposit size of 250,000 is we now have the account with the base of 250,000. So that means now that the base is there, we can accept any deposit size. I believe the minimum deposit size that Jamie's accepting is $500. So that's point A of this, how it's working. And then Yako and himself. So Yako, he's been a full-time trader now for over 25 years. And prior to partnering with myself and my company, he was working at the Cargo Fund in Canada, and he was responsible for managing a book value of over $40 billion with a B. And about 5, 6 years ago, Yako left the traditional finance corporate world to bring his strategies to the public marketplace, for high level net worth individuals to get involved. And when Yako left that world, he also brought his entire team with him, which consists of a group of around 15 people. And this includes fund managers, analysis, traders, and most importantly, mathematicians and engineers. So because of the team he brought with him from the corporate world, he was able to build his entire systems in-house. What I mean by systems is his trading algorithms. So most importantly, again, comparing to other retail models, we did not buy our softwares on the internet. We do not rent our softwares. Because of the mathematicians and engineers a part of our team, we're able to build all of our softwares in-house. So Yako and his team, they spent over $20 million to actually build this technology and bring it to the public marketplace. And then as well, so what Yako's trading and what the algorithm actually is. So first and foremost, most importantly, again, this is not a martingale bot. This is not a cost averaging bot. If you're familiar in the trading world, you'll know what I'm talking about. Those are casino bots. This is what is called a trend following strategy. And it also has a high frequency trading component built into it, which is averaging about 100 to 200 trades per day. And then lastly, but most importantly, the tracked data that we have for this specific strategy, we have 7 years of tracked data. And for this 7 years of tracked data, we have never had one losing year. There is losing months, but Yako always recovers to come back in a positive for the year. And then the average return for those 7 years of tracked data is sitting at roughly 65% per year. And then the max drawdown to achieve those returns of 65% a year is currently sitting at 14%. But we know that this is a retail type of call and investors, so you guys are looking for more high returns. So what we're going to do is we're going to double up the risk of this specific strategy, which means that we will be aiming to achieve 100+% a year. And again, because it's the double up strategy, it's going to come up with double the drawdown. So the max drawdown to achieve the 100% a year will come in at roughly 25% a year. So that's a brief overview of Yako and his strategy. And then really what I can close off with is, like Jamie said, this is the very first time that an institutional strategy has actually been brought to the retail marketplace. And also what I can say about that is seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of different trading products in the retail space. Sure, some of them will have a lifespan of 3-6 months, but they're all bound to blow. And there's many factors for this. One of them is you can go buy these bots for $50, $100 on the internet, and the technology and development just doesn't go into them. It's just your random retail traders that put these products together. And then for the institutional side, when real legit algorithms hit the marketplace like this, what happens and why they're not available to the public like us is because when your banks and hedge funds actually see real working algorithms, they simply come in, buy the algorithms up for millions and millions of dollars, take it off the public marketplace, and simply just use it in-house for themselves. So the reason Yako didn't sell his technology to those guys is because he also sees the market opportunity of bringing a real program to the marketplace where there's so much money to be made for every single individual a part of this opportunity, including the investor aboard. So yeah, Jamie, I'm super excited for what we're about to do here, and I think that it's going to be most definitely a revolutionary play.
Awesome, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, super excited about having Yako, the golden goose, lead the way on the Forex fund. It's just so awesome to have such a an experienced, solid, legitimate system. You know, as we were saying, in the retail space is just so non-existent, and we've lost so much money, just so much time over the years, you know, searching for this. So really excited to bring that together. Someone asks about monthly withdrawals. So what Yaka will be doing is closing off the trades every month for a few day period, and everyone will be able to withdraw their profits if they choose to do that. And so that will be really great. Josh, if you jump into the crypto fund, you know, just to give a background on what I saw Josh do. I mean, it was really impressive. I remember linking up with him in Canada. It was 2020, and he had just started going off about this alternative coins in crypto, and you know, I was familiar at that point with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the main ones, but he started going off about like this project V Chain that was revolutionizing labels with Walmart and all these places, and I just knew he was super excited, and I knew to follow what he was doing. So every month or so, I'd hit him up just saying, "Hey, Josh, what have you found now?" And just watched him ride that crypto bull run 2021 up like it was 80x, just crazy amounts of numbers, 8,000% plus. So that was really cool. So then when he opened up the opportunity just to help some friends and family, and I reached out to him just saying, obviously I'll be a part of that. And I just said, how can we make it accessible to the whole community? And he's just resistant with the legal side, but I thought, you know, we'll figure that out on our end. As long as we can handle that, then we can open it up to everyone. So that's why we're here with it today. And yeah, Josh, for you to share your crypto story and what we're looking to do with the fund there.
So, as mentioned in the when I was talking about the FX fund, I've personally been in the crypto space since 2016. And I first just started researching the crypto space, specifically Bitcoin, because it's the king of the crypto markets. And what got me super interested about Bitcoin is simply just the creator of Bitcoin, what he is and trying to do with Bitcoin. And that is simply to make it the opposite of fiat currency, which with fiat currency, they print and print and print, which specifically we've seen the last since 2020 COVID, the inflation that's gone rapid around the world, where Bitcoin, it's the complete opposite. It's a reduced circulating supply. So that top of many other factors got me super interested in the space. And then once I got my head wrapped around Bitcoin, that's when I started to dive into specifically altcoins because of the greater ROI potential compared to Bitcoin. So me personally, from 2017 until 2019, I basically invested every spare dollar that I could into the markets. And for me, my investment thesis at that time, and it still stands the same today, and that's what we're going to be doing with the crypto fund, is one, I don't invest in any BS coins, pump and dumps from Doge to SHIB. That's not what I'm interested in. So the top coins, again, this specific run that I'm interested in is one, coins that offer real use case utility to the world. Two, the next sector is gaming coins. And the last sector that we're observing and we're heavily currently invested in is the AI sector. So before I dive into what we're doing with the crypto fund, I'll give my past story. So my top two coins that I did very well with last run was what are called VET, VeChain, and Matic. So VeChain, my average buy price was roughly half a penny. And then my average sell price was roughly 20 cents to 25 cents. And then for Matic, my average buy price was 2 cents, and my average sell price ranged from $2.50 to $3. So across the board, the total ROI that I achieved in 2021 when I fully cashed out of the markets was 8,000%, which sounds absolutely ridiculous. I can agree with that, but that is the cryptocurrency markets, and those are the type of returns that we can really achieve here. So going on to our crypto fund, as Jamie mentioned, we opened this up about 3-4 months ago just for friends and family only. We weren't interested in bringing it to the public whatsoever, but with enough pressure from Jamie and convincing, he allowed us to open it up to just this community. We won't be accepting any other investor besides individuals that come through Jamie and Income Nation. So why we're seeing a bull run and why we're predicting a bull run that's going to continue this year and maybe into Q1 of 2025 is for many reasons. So for the first reason, which I'm sure you guys have seen if you follow crypto at all, because it's been in the news a lot the last 3-4 months. And the first bullish reason is the ETF that is coming. It's actually, if all goes according to plan, that ETF should literally be launching tomorrow. So that's obviously going to open up the door to billions, if not trillions of dollars of institutional money. The second bullish thesis point that we have is what the next event that is coming up, which is called Bitcoin halving. So Bitcoin halving is coming in April of this year. And if you're unfamiliar with what Bitcoin halving is, so at the beginning of this segment, I gave the example of how Bitcoin is the opposite of fiat currency. So every 4 years, Bitcoin goes through what is called Bitcoin halving. So for example, let's say there's 30 million Bitcoin in circulating supply right now. Come April of this year, that circulating supply of 30 million will be cut in half, and there will only be 15 million in circulating supply. So obviously Bitcoin is a hot item that's wanted around the world right now. And what happens when you cut an hot item in half? Obviously the price is going to go insane. So if we look back in history, Bitcoin halving has happened many times now. And historically, every time Bitcoin halves, 1 year from Bitcoin halving, Bitcoin is at all-time highs. So that's our second bullish thesis. The third bullish thesis is for all asset classes, and that is we're predicting that the Federal Reserve and pretty much all Western nations this year are going to start to lower interest rates, which will inevitably drive more cash into different markets, including the cryptocurrency market. And then lastly, our next bullish thesis and statement is that it is election year. And every election year, they love to pump the markets to give the current sitting president all the credibility for the markets. So those are our 4 bullish thesis points for the cryptocurrency markets this year. And then to dive a bit deeper into our crypto fund. So I gave the 3 components that we're going to be investing in, but for individuals getting involved with us with the crypto fund, so it's pretty straightforward. To start, we will only be charging 1 profit share. It's not going to be like the FX fund where we're charging profit share monthly. So we're only going to charge that 1 profit share once we are fully cashed out of every single holding that we're in. And then obviously you guys will get your profit as well from that point on. And then the whole time that we are targeting to cash out, which you guys have to be, if you're interested in this fund, you you have to be comfortable with your money being involved in the markets for this amount of time. So the cash out time will be anywhere from Q4 of this year to roughly May of 2025. So you could hypothetically call the cash out time anywhere from 12 to 18 to 24 months. And then the target ROI that we're looking to do for this run is a minimum of 1000%. Obviously, all has to go according to plan. With the bullish sentiment that I said, crypto is a very, very volatile asset. But yeah, that is very, very brief overview of my experience in crypto and our crypto fund.
Awesome, Josh. Thank you so much. Appreciate the in-depth overview as usual. So for those of you that want to get involved with either the Forex fund or the crypto fund or both, normally we're charging a membership fee to join the community, and then you get access to everything. But right now, just for the next couple of weeks, we are completely waiving the membership fee. So all you have to do, go to bit.ly/Incomation pre-launch. Will in the chat and in the comments for the lives. Bit.ly/Incomation pre-launch. Register there, and then we'll send you the information for the onboarding call and waive your membership fee. We'll help you get involved with either the Forex fund or the crypto fund and deposit your money into those channels. So it's something we're doing for the community, the live onboarding calls, just to make it easier for everyone. Want to touch on also that our own brokerage is now licensed, ready to go. So we have our own liquidity provider. Our tech platform's coming together so that when our crypto bank is live, our banking system, it will be as simple as sending a wire to the banking system or sending crypto to the banking system, and then we can credit it into the brokerage account balances. So that's going to make things really, really easy. And also, we've just seen so many horror stories with brokerages, and the only way to really know what's happening behind the scenes is to be the behind the scenes. So that was a side project that ended up being really important for the entire system, so that we don't have any reliance on outside companies. So just sign up for the pre-launch form. We'll send you the onboarding information, and you can walk through after this call or any other call for the rest of the week. We'll be doing them daily. Okay, so next, I want to bring up just a cherry on top to the financial system. Of course, we're talking about all these financial platforms that you can get involved with. The biggest contribution to this community is my personal mentor, who I've now again opened up to the community. His name's Don Smith, and Don has just provided an absolute 180-degree shift in my personal life. I had done over 15 years of personal development, hundreds of thousands of dollars, all the big names that you could think of, and a bunch more that you probably never heard of, all the way down to shamans in Mexico, just going on a deep, deep journey. And that's what I always saw the financial to be for me. You know, at a young age, I was able to have financial success, but I could never fill that empty void, no matter how much money I brought in. And that was really scary for me, because growing up without any money, I thought money was the answer. And so chasing that at least gave me like a light at the end of the tunnel. And then when I received large sums of money, realizing that wasn't the total answer, it was pretty depressing, to be honest. It was a really dark time for me, because it's like, where do you go then if the one answer that you thought would provide that solution didn't? So I went on a long journey for many years, but it was ultimately showing up at Don's doorstep that shifted everything for me. And he literally did it in about an hour and a half. And that sounds ridiculous, especially if you've done any personal development before or any type of traditional methods, you know, to overcome physical, emotional, financial, any area of your life, relational. But it's true. It was an hour and a half, and it was an instant transformation. It literally happened in 1 second. You know, the hour and a half led me up to making all these connections that happened in my life, going back to the root cause of all of my toxic patterns and programs. And literally in 1 second, it was all shifted. So, what a beautiful gift for me. When I met Don, he was only working with C-level, C-class executives and high net worth, elite professional athletes, billionaires, and uh, and and leaders of big companies. But over time, just kind of like I put a lot of pressure on Josh, I also put a lot of pressure on Don to open up, his process to everyone. I grew up an average Joe, still am, and I always just have a heart for the average person compared to, just helping the world's rich get richer. That wasn't ever a strong motivator for me. So Dawn will be providing a live transformation once a month for the entire community. And we already have a recorded version of the previous group last month already inside the membership portal. So when I met Don, he was charging $125,000 per person in groups 6 to 12. You're literally getting access to that process right now with us waiving the membership fee for absolutely nothing. Like, I don't know how else we can bless you and provide a major gift on your life. But I encourage you to take that extremely serious, because it's no short of a miracle that can literally happen for you 2 hours after we end this call. So how cool is that? I have an awesome friend, brother here, Sam, that flew in from America. He was actually in Bali, and I invited him to come to Philippines when he was over in Bali, and we've become really close just in the last week. He worked with Don via Zoom about a year ago, had a major shift in his life, and then being in person with Don here for the last week in Philippines, he's at a major shift too. And this is a guy, like a lot of us entrepreneurs that have been on the journey for a long time, made millions of dollars, and realized that that wasn't the full answer and trying to fill the void. And he was able to have that solution with Don too. So I want to bring him up real quick, share his story so you can hear from him. And then Josh, I'll send it over to you too to share your experience with Don.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jamie. Just want to give it up for Jamie, just for his heart. All of this wouldn't really have played out if it weren't for him. All of the value that he's provided, whether it's on the financial side, whether it's on the I Am Divinity side, the process with Don, it's really because he cares and he wants to create something different. I've been a part of so many different companies for the last 10 years, made millions of dollars, been able to travel the world, have complete location freedom. For the last 6 months, I've actually been traveling Southeast Asia, haven't had to worry. But before that, there was just so many things that I was personally dealing with, whether it was like he said, like filling that void, whether it was health issues, relationship issues, and I had done so much personal development. I'm talking courses with, people like John Maxwell, Tony Robbins. I've done transformational workshops. I've done quote unquote plant medicine. I've done energy work. I've done it all, like literally everything that you could think of. I had experience and I had done it. And all it took was one message from Jamie, which I didn't actually know him. Like he just said, I literally just met him about a week ago in person, but I feel like I've known him forever, which is really cool. We had been online friends, and one day I actually saw him on Instagram, and I'm like, whoa, like this dude is like, there's something different about him, and I could feel it. There was something that shifted within him, because when we actually had spoken at that time, we were a part of the same company. It was another Forex. It was a Forex company. And at the time, I took $1,100 and I took it to over 6 figures within, it was like less than a year. And then actually lost like $60,000 within 48 hours. So it was interesting. And Jamie actually ended up messaging me and he's like, hey, you need to meet my mentor, Don. And I said, okay, because I could feel that there was a shift with him, just literally through via a video. And so I had this session with Don, and literally within, I'd say about an hour and a half, things that I had dealt with, things that I was unaware of, which is the interesting thing, because a lot of you aren't aware of what it is that's actually holding you back. Just like I didn't know what was holding me back. I made all this money, but I also lost it. There was so many times where I made the money, but then I had to have my back against the wall to lose it and then try to make it again. And it was in this toxic cycle where it was constantly in survival mode. And there's someone on this call that probably can resonate with this, where they're constantly in survival mode, where they constantly feel like they have to survive, or they need to get into a place where their back is against the wall so they actually can make a change. And what I'm here to tell you is that all it took was me being open, honest, having the willingness and the courage to actually go within my own being and to be guided by Don. And all of these toxic programs that I had been dealing with for all of these years were gone. And the interesting thing is that, all it took was me being open, and I was able to really dissolve this one thing that was, it was created at 3 months of age. So there was absolutely no way that I was going to be able to be conscious of that on my own. So, that's just a short little blip, and I'll talk about this a lot more. Jamie actually brought me on. I'm going to be the chief marketing officer for Incomation, and so I'm really excited to be here with you guys. And I know that you guys are going to have an absolute amazing process with Don. And the financial side, we have obviously Josh and Sloan and some amazing people on the team. So thank you for being here, and thank you for making a bet on yourself. So thanks, Jamie.
Awesome. Well, he stole the thunder away from me, wanting to introduce him as CMO. I forgot to do that in the beginning, so sorry. And yeah, thanks for sharing with everyone. Really appreciate that. So Sam's on board with us officially as CMO. He's going to be doing a lot of affiliate training for our partners. So I'll give you a quick blip on the partner program right after Josh shares his experience with Don. And Josh, take it away, bud.
Yeah, so what I can say about my experience with Dawn is, for me, I never had any childhood trauma. I was never lacking in that regard. I actually had a good childhood. But my number one problem before I went and did the session with Dawn was very similar to Sam's, and that was that with financial side of things, I was always in survival mode. I would make a ton of money, and then I would place it in a stupid investment or just whatever to go from a huge peak, and then I would just crash right down to the bottom. So when I did my session with Don, the number one analogy you could say that he helped me with, and that got me out of my way, and that he pointed out for me, he gave me a metaphor. Was I was holding a rock, and he compared it to a brick of gold, and that was how I could never have the self-belief about myself to actually obtain and hold my financial wealth. So as well, I gave prior my crypto stories, so you guys will understand where I'm going with this. But roughly 1 year after working with Don is when I cashed out my crypto gain of 8,000%. So that, and I was able to hold my money, unlike the examples I gave before where I would have those peaks and then crash to the bottom. But for me, with Dawn, outside of my financial success, I actually get more joy, and I like to share the stories more, because when I had the session with Dawn, I knew I needed to share it with all my friends and family who were severely struggling. So that's what I actually get the joy out of more because of the examples. So for one, I brought a friend to Dom that had severe schizophrenia. And they were on many, many different medications. I think it was 5 or 6 different variety of pills to be exact. 1 week after the session with Dawn, this individual was completely off of every single medication, and they weren't having any more schizophrenic episodes. And then my good friend, he brought his mom, who was a severe alcoholic. Same thing. 1 week after the session with Dawn, his mom didn't feel the need to have even a sip of alcohol. And then I also brought a couple friends of mine who are musicians. And prior to working with Dawn to create an album, it would take them on average a whole year to create one album. And then after the session with Dawn gave them a challenge. Okay, with the information and with everything I showed you, I challenge you guys to go make an album in 1 week. Guess what? In 1 week, they made their best album that they ever made in their career. So yeah, like I said, obviously Dawn helped me tremendously on the financial side, and helping me specifically achieve the returns that I did in the cryptocurrency space. But for me, the biggest thing with Dawn, like I said, was just seeing the wonders and the work that he did for my friends and family who were really not in a good spot in their life. So yeah, I really suggest whatever stage you are in. Everybody has different problems in their life. That's life. But I highly suggest just do the first call with Dom, see the practices he has to offer. And I'm sure, as you can tell as well by Jamie's energy, we all want a piece of that. So yeah, I thank you very much, Jamie, for introducing myself and all my friends and family to Dawn, and super excited to bring it to the masses.
Awesome, Josh. Yeah, so amazing. I mean, I've witnessed hundreds of people firsthand that have just had miraculous experiences with Dawn. And right after my experience with Dawn, I said, man, like I gotta help you, just like you felt, Josh. Like I gotta help you get to all my friends and family. And Josh was one of the first people I called. He did it the very next weekend after me. And shortly after that, when I went back down to Mexico, I called Dawn. I said, Dawn, like, come to Mexico. I got a place you could stay. Like, just come down here and we'll blast your program out, because I want to help the world with this. And he's very mission driven. His number one vision and mission is to raise humanity's consciousness so that the entire planet is out of the ego energy. And if you know anything about Dr. David Hawkins' work, he created a consciousness scale from 0 to 1,000. Most of the planet currently today is under 200 out of 1,000. Under 200. And the average person, according to Dr. David Hawkins' work, raises 5 consciousness points in a lifetime. In a lifetime. Imagine your whole life going from 200 to 205, getting on the other side, realizing that you could have got to 1,000. So Don's mission is to get the entire planet over 700. And he's able to do that on a personal level with us. I've experienced over 700 right after his program. We're talking an hour and a half, 2 hours. You can get to over 700 consciousness. Now you need 4 things, according to Don. The acronym is CHOW. courage, honesty, open-minded, and willing. If you don't have 100 out of 100 on those 4 things, don't even bother getting on the call, because your ego is going to resist and you're going to choose to disregard it, not be committed, to surrender. But if you are committed to surrender, you're going to have these amazing, miraculous experiences like what you've heard tonight on the call. And I was so committed after I did that first process with Don that I invited him down to Mexico. And now it's been almost 4 years that we traveled the world together, and we both ended up in Philippines. And I mean, I don't let this guy out of my sight for very long. He's the only one on the planet that can help me, guide me to that level of 1,000, which there's no words for how divine that experience is. And I just wish for all of you to have that same experience and not go your whole life repeating the same patterns unconsciously. And so that's why we open everything up for Don. Like I said, you can get involved in the membership right now. We're waiving the fee, taking away all your excuses. Just sign up at the bit.ly information pre-launch, and you'll be able to go through his process immediately. And of course, we'll help you with the Forex fund and the crypto fund. But I'll be straight up with you, as Josh and Sam shared with you, and I had a big portion of that in my entire journey with financial too. Made a lot, but would find unhealthy ways to get rid of it, right? It's called sabotage. And whether you're conscious of your sabotage or not, I guarantee you, most people listening to this right now are sabotaging at some degree or another. And that's why many of you are maybe like, I want to get involved with all this, but maybe I don't really have that much money to invest. Well, imagine that, going your entire life, all the opportunities around you. There's literally, if you go down any street, I don't care what country you're in, you're passing condos and houses that are millions of dollars, at like within a 5-minute drive. It's like billions of dollars that exist just around you in like one radius block. So the money is out there. If you're not experiencing it flowing into your life, you guaranteed have a block, and you're guaranteeing sabotaging your success. Imagine going decades in your career and not having any money to invest in a program like what we put together. It's tough to hear, tougher to experience, and way tougher to be listening to this, hearing that you have the solution right in front of you, and not committing to going through that solution. Whether you believe us or not that it works, I mean, I encourage you to at least try it, right? Like, how committed are you to change your situation? And so that's really what we want to end off on, is that is the key to everything. That is the key to unlock everything that you've been experiencing. And yes, of course, we've put together an amazing financial system that can help us all. But without that unlocking, without that overcoming the patterns and the unconscious toxic programs, you're just not going to get very far. And even if you do financially, how many people have we witnessed that have had financial success but total chaos in every area of their life, to the point that they're in and out of rehab, or they're suicidal, or they commit suicide? Don't have to look much further than Rich and Famous, the list of rich and famous people, to understand that money alone isn't the answer, right? We all know that. So last thing I want to end off on is we really invest a lot into our partner program, which is our affiliates. Currently, we don't even allow anyone to sign up to the company directly. It's all through affiliates, all through word of mouth. So what we've done is every single financial stream that's been created within our system, whether it's the banking solution, every time someone uses a debit card, or the brokerage solution, every time a trade is made. And you've heard Josh say that Yako does 100 to 200 trades a day. Okay, imagine getting a piece of all of those revenue streams. So anytime someone joins the community with the membership fee, anytime a trade is made on the back end, anytime a debit card is swiped in our banking system, everything that we put together, we're sharing 30% of all the revenue to the company back to you partners. 20% on your direct referrals and 10% on all the indirects. And so that's just our way of saying we truly are partners. You guys don't even have to deal with any expenses or a lot of the workload. So it's a good deal. I've gone through this journey many times being like, man, I wish I was still an affiliate. I wish someone had created this system so I didn't have to go through all this to create, so that I could have just been an affiliate. So again, all the revenue streams to the partners, we have affiliate links that you sign up with. And again, on the onboarding call, we can walk you through all that to make sure that you're tied to the system. So that's it. That's a wrap. This is day 2. We'll send out all the, we got all of our accounts on what's called MyFX Book, basically the Carfax for Forex. So it's a third-party independent company that we can verify all the trading results and share that with you guys. We're just figuring out with Josh right now how we can share the crypto fund results without disclosing all of the assets to the public, but we'll be doing that as well. And yeah, super exciting. Day 1, we had over 700 views on the streaming platform. We had over 50 people registered for the onboarding call, and we're just getting started. So excited for all of you to be a part of it. We'll be doing this same time tomorrow. And for those of you that are ready to get started, we'll be doing the onboarding call in exactly 1 hour from now. Okay. Appreciate all of you.
Jamie, there's some questions that I can answer in the chat if you'd like.
Okay, yeah, go for it. And we might as well have a couple people live come on if they want to ask some questions, and then we can end things. Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing too, before I get into the questions that I'll add for the crypto fund that I forgot to mention, the main one, most importantly for the risk side of things, is when we do our trading, we are doing 0 leverage trading. It's 100% spot trading. So what that means is if the position goes against us, it's 100% impossible to get fully liquidated. So that's the one thing for the crypto fund. And then the second thing for the crypto fund is, again, because we're entering the bull market, this crypto fund compared to the FX fund, it won't be open forever. So we're watching closely, specifically the ETF news tomorrow or by the end of this week will dictate how long the crypto fund will be open. But basically on the charts, once Bitcoin is above 51, 52K, that is when we will be shutting the crypto fund and will not be adding any more positions to our portfolio. But as long as Bitcoin is below that range of 51 to 52K, the crypto fund will remain open. So yeah, I just wanted to add that in there for the crypto fund. And then I see a question in the chat stating, does the PAM account need to be regulated? So the answer to that is no. And the reason a PAM account doesn't need to be regulated is because with a PAM account, it's utmost transparency for the client, because again, how a PAM account works more in depth is that we, Jamie, myself, Yako, the trader, we never have access to your funds on a PAM account. With a PAM account, you are the only individual that is able to deposit and withdraw. We don't have access to your capital. All we can do on the PAM account is trade and trade only. So again, that is why we don't need any regulations for a PAM account. And then looking through more questions, any chance we will have a scenario to make monthly returns that we can withdraw? Yes, we will be opening up the PAM account, I'd say probably once a month, to allow clients to withdraw. What we'll have to do to allow the withdrawals is Yako, he can't be in any trades whatsoever. So the second that Yako exits all trades for the month, we'll make an announcement to whatever channels Jamie has set up for you guys that you're able to withdraw. And then we'll probably open the withdrawal window, I'd say anywhere for 2 to 5 days per month. So that's the withdrawal question. Scrolling and then the next question is minimum investment for the crypto funds. That is currently sitting at $500. And that looks like all the questions I can answer, Jamie. Everything else is on your side.
Okay, awesome, man. We'll get if there's anyone live on the call here that wants to raise your hand, we can ask. You can ask any questions. We'll answer them. I just saw if the crypto fund is open. Yes, the crypto fund is open. So both the Forex fund and the crypto fund are ready to go. You can join our onboarding call. Show how to set up with the brokerage. And the crypto fund is simply a wallet we have under the brokerage name that you can send to so that we can get it to Josh and his team to manage. I see Amy with your hand up.
Right, I had funded my PAM account last month and I was wondering when we'll be having activity with that.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations on that. So February 1st is the cutoff where we're just finishing raising all the funds, and then Yaka will be trading it as of February 1st. So you'll see.
Okay, I thought it was January.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Just raise your little hand at the bottom of the Zoom. Or if you're on the live streams, just ask on the comments and Will can shoot them over. Andrew, go ahead, man. Just unmute yourself.
He wrote his question there in the chat too, Jamie.
Okay, let's see. Still need login information. Okay, so Will, for anyone that hasn't got their membership login that we gave to the pioneers, what do you want them to do?
Yeah.
Okay. So if you sent something into the company to get your membership logins, part of the pioneers, just open up the live chat on our website and we'll get to it right away. For those of you that are new, you can sign up at the pre-launch form and we'll help you onboard, make sure you get all your logins and see where everything is in the membership portal. Okay, what's expectation to draw? So the Pioneer Fund, we put a lot of it into the crypto fund with Josh. So we're going to give it a good six to 12 months this year, depending on the bull run, to really do a sizable withdrawal. We just don't want to kill the golden goose. So we're going to let that run for at least 6 months, but we'll be giving you guys updates along the way as well. Okay, any other final questions? Just put your hand up. Okay. So again, for any of you that needs help, whether it's getting into the membership portal or finding Don's process within it or depositing to the Forex or crypto fund, just jump on our daily onboarding calls. We'll have those recorded as well and send them out. So it's all really easy. But we'll be doing that at the top of the hour. So 53 minutes. We'll be doing that. And I see one more question here. Richard Bowen, go ahead, bud.
Hi, yes, I can't remember just when, but roughly a month or so ago, I was talking with, quote unquote, talking with Will, I think it was. And I mentioned that I had an ANTT account, 100 years ago or whenever it was back then. And 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 he said, yes, I could still use that. That would still be part of the information program and whatnot. And I said, I still haven't been able to access it, or I don't know, there were certain things that I needed to know about in the account. I'm afraid I don't remember just what. And it was about a month or so ago when he said he would reach out to them. And I'm sure he did, but I don't know whether ANTT got back to Will. I haven't heard anything. So as far as I know, that ANTT account is kind of like, dead in the water. And I'm wondering, if you know or Will might know anything about where things are at with ANTT for us pioneers.
Okay, awesome, Richard. So we do have a dedicated team that's still working on the ANTT accounts for the few of you that did still have that one. Just reach out either support@incomation.com or the live chat at the website incomation.com, and you can just follow up there, and we'll see where it's at. Okay.
Okay, and I'm sorry, I was out of the room getting some water, and I think while I was out, you were talking about an onboarding call starting at noon time, or at least 1 hour from now. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, onboarding call is every day at noon Eastern, so that's about 50 minutes from now. Yep.
And where do I get that link?
We sent those out to through the email and also the Telegram channel, so you can grab it from either Facebook
Okay,
group,
thanks.
Telegram channel, email.
Okay,
Otherwise-
thanks.
Okay, thanks, Richard. Sheila, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. Hello, Jamie. Hello, everyone. Okay, I have a quick question because I think I got a bit confused. Okay,
Okay.
so for the pre-launch form, okay, I'm already in the system and I went through Don's transformation, and I'll tell you about that on another call. However, I'm good, right? So I don't need the pre-launch form. What
Yeah,
is
you're
that?
good. If you got your membership logins, you're taken care of. You don't need the pre-launch form. That's for new people to get the membership logins before we put the price back on the membership. So you're good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. Great to hear that you went through Don's process. Excited to hear about that.
Amazing.
Okay. If there's any other questions, raise your hand. If not, we'll wrap things up. Again,
Jamie, one in there says, is LQDFX still on?
okay, let's see. LQD, thanks for those. Yes, we are still using LQDFX. So again, on the onboarding call, if you need help depositing into that is where the PAM is currently until we have all of our tech platform and everything, banking system lined up with the brokerage. So we're a few weeks away from that. As of right now, we're still able to use LQDFX. Jerry, don't see a hand. Okay, just go ahead and unmute yourself, Jerry. Jerry Brown, if you want to unmute yourself, if you had a question, go ahead. Okay. Never mind. Thanks, Josh. Thanks for all the information. Appreciate having you on. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Will, for all the work you're doing behind the scenes, and to the whole team. Jerry, if you want to just text it, go ahead and I can answer it before we let everyone go.
Hey, Jamie.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Sheila mentioned something that it raised a question in my mind. I've reached out a number of times over the last month or two about, those of us who are I can't think of the word just now. People who have been with you guys from the get-go.
Pioneer, yeah.
Pioneers, thank you. Sorry. And I got one or two confirmations over the last, month or so from support that I, in fact, was on the Pioneer list. And I think I had two accounts with Information, if I remember correctly. But then Sheila mentioned something about, the membership and whatnot. And she said, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm good. I have my membership logins." And I don't think I ever got membership logins. I just kept being told that, "Oh, yes, you're on the Pioneer list." So I don't know whether I'm okay or not. I mean, I feel a little embarrassed having to ask about where I would find my membership logins, but I've frankly, my old brain box has had a little trouble following all this stuff since March of last year. I'm having trouble remembering what I had for lunch yesterday.
Fair enough, Richard. So you would have received them in your email if you're a Pioneer. You would have got the membership logins there. For any of you that's a Pioneer and you don't know where your logins are, or you never received them, just reach out to the support. So support@information.com, or go to the website, use the live chat, and we'll make sure to get you the logins. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. And Trudy, yeah, to be clear, the onboarding link has been sent out to the email. It's also in our Facebook group, and it's also on our Telegram channels. So for those of you that are new and don't have access to those groups yet, just fill out the form at bit.ly/Incomation pre-launch. Register there on the form, and we will send you the onboarding information. Okay? So we'll be doing that in 45 minutes for those of you that want to join the onboarding call, and we'll walk you through how to get involved with the funds. Okay. Awesome. Thanks everyone for being here. We will see you tomorrow same time, so 10 a.m. Eastern, and we'll be sending out the recordings. So thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow.